Hello there, beautiful people. So I got the moon card today, which is um, a great reminder to get the journal out, really, because I mean the journal is one that is a constant and continuous communication tool. But but when the moon comes up, if any of you have this card and it comes up for you, it's a fantastic reminder just to dive into your past a little bit and journal about some of the stories of your past. So the moon has got the reputation of being a little bit of a dark and scary shadow-like card because it represents what's hidden in our subconscious, which is nearly always the more suppressed and repressed part of ourselves, and there is naturally going to be a fear around this type of memories and the type of traumas and the type of beliefs and feelings that we have that aren't very comfortable, and so we'll suppress them all. We'll suppress the few of those memories, and we will, and they will just surface in our lives in the form of us being afraid of something. And this is why the moon has a slightly darker representation and reputation as well. So people will often read it as something darker, whereas in reality the lesson of the moon is very much to shine a light on those dark parts of ourselves. So that's what it calls us to do, and it calls us to journal with certain questions in mind, like what am I really afraid of, and what have I been afraid of in the past, and what are what fears are repeating right now in my life, what are the underlying currents of those fears. So there'll be definitely history and stories in your past where you can recognize, oh yes, that was a really uncomfortable situation, that was a challenging experience, that was a memory that I don't like or don't enjoy going back to, and according to that memory, or because of that memory maybe, or aligned with that memory, I still hold on to a fear towards certain things. And look at those certain things might be coming up right now in our life, those certain things being similar to the memory of the past, or being energetically connected to the memory of the past. And that's what we have to look for when this card comes up, because there's something that is mirroring our past, that's bubbling up from the unconscious of our subconscious mind and into our awareness, and we can actually shed a light on and get clarity about a lot of old stories. And when I say old stories that we may have had since the beginning of our lives, and they've just slowly integrated themselves through experiences into our consciousness. But maybe they're from the beginning, maybe they're stories that have been repeated from our ancestors, our fathers and forefathers and mothers and grandmothers, and all of the history that we have brought down into our in our ancestral lineage. And it's good to look at those type of fears, and the fears that are mirrored from the past stories of our and the parents and grandparents that we can remember, and understanding those dynamics, and understanding that they're alive inside of us, and they're destined to come out in our lives and to be born into an experience, and we're destined to fear similar stories, and taking a look at those fears, understanding what's really behind them, and allowing yourself to feel into the truth of those fears, because some of them will be something that is maybe a little bit too uncomfortable to look at, and we'll want to carry on suppressing it. But if the moon card comes up, it normally speaks about some aspect of our darkness that we are actually ready to shed a light on, to shine a light on. And when we're ready, there's an eye-opening experience that comes with the moon. There's a pathway towards a higher awareness that comes from in the moon, and it's like a gift from our ancestors in a way, and it's a gift from our own intention to bring in a more conscious healing experience into our lives. And with that intention, and with the honesty and the willingness to dive into what is our darker subconscious shadow, we can find a huge amount of clarity and release and a pathway out into the higher awareness, into the background there, that pathway in between the dog and the wolf that are going through into the hills above, and it's that pathway towards the higher consciousness that we're looking for. Have a fantastic day. Love to hear any of your moon related stories and darker shadow stories. If you'd like to comment and share down below. All the best.